that you are the temple of the living God, and whatsoever temple is defiled, God will destroy that temple. Defiled temples have no value either to God or man, and not having fulfilled the purpose of their creation, they are of necessity destroyed. If these defiled beings, filled with sin and error, were permitted to clutter the earth too long, it would become so defiled it would have to be destroyed also. The destruction, the physical body or temple, endures in death. Every body that is defiled and remains in that condition must be destroyed. This is the eternal law of the universe, as engraved upon the very soul of man. And men have been so satisfied with this inferior law, they have not even sought to comprehend the great flaming law of life and overcoming that is engraved above it. It takes all kinds of people to make up a world, is a statement used to justify the evil and wickedness of mankind. And that statement is false. No world needs the ones who make no effort to better the planet they are privileged to inhabit. Each individual has a responsibility to not only make the world a better place for himself, but for every human being upon it, and for all the generations yet unborn. These temples to be destroyed are the bodies of men that will be claimed by death. But death is not an inevitable condition, as all have supposed. It is always possible to rise up and drive the thieves out of the temple. These thieves are the evil, selfish, jealous, greed-filled, lustful, erroneous thoughts and feelings that have invaded the temple, completely defiling it. These robbers have, in most cases, securely bound and overcome the rightful heir to the kingdom, as they rule in righteous tyranny. And always death is a destruction of the temple, as the grave claims the physical remains. Any temple or body that is defiled will be destroyed. Death is the way of the flesh when it has remained unexalted by rejecting the light of Christ, which is given to abide in every man who cometh unto the world.
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. There was a man sent from God, whose name was John. The same came for a witness to bear witness of the light, that all men through him might believe. He was not that light, but was sent to bear witness of that light. That was the true light, which lighteth every man that cometh into the world. He was in the world, and the world was made by him, and the world knew him not. He came unto his own, and his own received him not. But as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of God, even to them that believe on his name, which were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of God. And the Word was made flesh, and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth.
All men are under condemnation who have rejected his light, and all who have rejected it are under the rule of defilement, as they have permitted the thieves to bind and enslave them. Death is the back door into the other world. It is not the door of honor and glory. It is the way for those who are not given a great welcome. There is, however, a front door, which is the way of utter glory and honor. This is the door Christ came to reveal, and none would believe. This door is open to all who overcome. It is opened by the very power of their overcoming. You are a creator, though you have not known it. Your creative powers have more often been misused, abused, or unused, as you have remained in subjection to your captors. Nevertheless, you have these creative powers, and they are yours. Yea, all that the Father has is yours. You too are divine, but since you have not known it, nor been aware of this inner divinity, you have gone through life acting as though you were but a grubby mortal. Now let us look within at the mortal being of you and see what we find. Every thought you think and every act you perform when you think no one is looking is you. The you have brought forth as you have obeyed the law of the robbers who have been permitted to take over your temple. Know that you are not the person playing to the grandstand, nor the one praying to be heard of men. You are not the person who becomes good, interesting, wonderful, or a seemingly very talented individual as you play this outside role for guests or those you wish to impress. No, you are not that person at all. You are the person who deals with your family, your closest associates, the people who work under you. You are the person you have to associate with every living moment and hour of your life and throughout all eternity. You may be putting on an act for yourself, and if you are cheating yourselves even more than you are cheating others. Mark 12:38-40. And he, Jesus, said unto them in his doctrine, Beware of the scribes which love to go into long clothing, and love salutations in the marketplace, and the chief seats in the synagogues, and the uppermost rooms at feasts, which devour widows' houses, and for a pretense makes long prayers. These shall receive the greater damnation. The above describes a hypocrite who is playing a game of base pretending and is deceiving himself most of all. It is quite possible to put on every good act like the small timid boy in his game of make-believe as he plays the heroic brave man in his cowboy suit. Or one may be like the movie star who is vain and selfish, cruel and viciously mean at heart, who plays the part of the saint in his act of pretending to entertain a world, and by so doing actually begins to believe that he is, in some rare way, a superior person and can do no wrong. It is with such acting that one may deceive himself as well as his audience and the world. It is not in the art of pretending that one becomes the hero or the knave. It is in the power of his thinking when he is alone with his thoughts. So you are not the person you try to impress people with, if that is your weakness. You are often someone quite different. It is possible that you may be a very gentle person who thinks very little evil and who has no great hates nor dislikes. But unless you think good, with lots of love and concentrated power behind it, you're still not the great dynamic person you were intended to be. Let us take a look inside of you, the you have made yourself into. The careless, unworthy acts you perform when no one is looking is you. The you have permitted yourself to be and has become. Watch those little acts and you'll begin to mold yourself into something and someone quite superior to the ordinary, slothful person who is living just because he's alive. As you begin to check the caliber of your thoughts and acts, you will come face to face with yourself for the first time perhaps. You will see yourself for what you have made yourself into by thoughtlessness. However, the person you are does not concern me. I am only interested in the person you are meant to be. It is a person you are meant to be whom I am also anxious for you to meet. And when you meet that person, there will be no need for any pretense, no sham or make-believe, for you will know the truth and you will realize that you are that truth. In speaking of this real you, we are not talking about your position, your possessions, your wealth, or your learning and worldly knowledge, nor even of what men think of you. These are not the true standards for measuring the man. These outer things are only a veil. They are not you, nor are you them. They have nothing to do with you really. They may be your stage props as a play a part that is not you at all. Sometimes a street cleaner is a king at heart, and a king may be an inferior submortal in his bestial habits and desires. No matter what part you play in life, it is only the real you that we, or eternity, is really concerned with. And it is the real you that should be your own greatest concern. So, my beautiful friend, come forth and let us meet you, the real you. Are you proud of yourself because of your wisdom, your talents, abilities, or possession? If you are, then you are only proud of a part you are playing to impress the world. True greatness is never proud. It is always infinitely humble. Humility is one of the very first requisites of greatness. Are you ashamed? Ashamed of the groveling part you are playing? Do you have an inferiority complex and hate yourself? Dear me, this is also a false attitude and as detrimental to the real glorious you as the other. However, if you have been playing a part so desperately you have deceived yourself, then you are enacting the greatest tragedy of all, though you may not have realized it. And you are that tragedy, and that tragedy is you. You have to live with yourself forever, and it isn't a pleasant thing to condemn yourself to the eternal companionship of an inferior being. One prophet said, part of the punishment of hell is having to associate forever with the wicked. It will be yourself you will be associating with. You may be sure of that, and you make the selection yourself. Is it your wish to associate forever with an inferior person, one filled with hate, a sneaker, a cheat, a coward, a scandalmonger, a braggart, a sex pervert, a criminal, or perhaps a thief who steals another's wealth, or mayhap only the credit for his ideas, which is the lowest type of thievery? Or would you prefer the company of a king, a saint, a being superb, majestic, and gifted with divine love, an immortal who is not only master over every situation, but himself as well? The choice is always yours. You alone can predesign or predestine what you will be. God never predestined any child of his to any particular fate. Into your hands is given the power to make any pattern design you can conceive for yourself and to fulfill it. You are a creator of ineffable powers held within your grasp. You are divine, and there is enough light contained within you that if all the lights in the universe went out, you could rekindle the sun, the stars, and the moon. It is in the revelation of these inner powers I would lead you to, that you might become beautifully glorious as the Son of Light you were intended to be. My soul loves your soul, else I would not linger here to make that pattern known. You are as myself, and all the love within my being is reaching out to enfold you, no matter who or what you are. I would recall you from the path of death and open to your soul a higher way of life, and give you wings to travel it in ease and majesty. No matter what method of escape one uses to get away from himself, whether it be parties, drinking, incessant association with noisy crowds, the movies, card games, television novels, or even drugs, or what have you, he will always have to come back to himself. Then there are those who only find true peace and quiet and strength and renewal when they are alone with themselves. These are those who are near to keeping company with divinity, and angels attend them. Dear one, it is always you who selects the kind of company you keep, good or bad, and it will always be yourself you will be walking with. Your ideal is you from the very beginning, and your awakened desire to actually be what you have sometimes pretended you are. It is as you desire to actually be the person you wish you were, and begin to put forth that required effort needed to create that divine, glorious person you were intended to be, that brings it forth. This great person I am seeking to show you is not the one who fills the highest position on the earth, nor any particular position for that matter. If you are seeing yourself holding some such high office, then you are seeing only your little mortal ego self-exalted. And if that is your greatest desire, even that can be brought forth. But it will be an inferior person, not the real you. Any ambition for worldly greatness is small change indeed when compared to the magnificent treasures held within your own soul, if you will but comprehend them. These are the powers beyond any worldly anointing or appointment, any exalted position or office, which are but the stage props, the outer trappings, and do not have too much meaning. It is only the great, glorified you as you become clothed in light and filled with power and goodness and love that we are trying to reveal to you. Your thoughts are your real you. They are you expressing. As you think, so you are. Or as you change your thinking, so will you become. If your thoughts are hate-filled, then you are a hateful person, for they are you. If your thoughts are evil, vile, groveling, craven thoughts of fear, lust, or darkness, they are but yourself expressing you, the you have brought forth with your divine powers of creation misused. If your thoughts are noble, compassionate, love-filled, they are also you, and you will not only be like them, you will become them. Always your thoughts are you expressing yourself. They are the projection of what you have built into yourself as it is thrown upon the screen of eternity. What sort of person are you? I do not need to know, but you must. You must see clearly what you are, else I cannot reveal to you the great person that you are meant to be, nor help you to become that. Watch your thinking and feeling habits, and you will begin to know yourself. Watch especially your thoughts concerning your fellow man. How do you feel about the people who crowd against you in the marketplace, in buses along the streets, in busy thoroughfares? What do you think of those in your community, neighborhood, church? Are they but pawns to be exploited? Are they miserable nuisances? Do you feel superior or inferior to them, and why? Do you love them as you love yourself? If not, are you willing to try? You may find a jewel of glory buried in every man's heart, and you may learn to share your jewels with them, and your supply will increase. You are what you think of your fellow man. Man is not what he thinks he is only what he thinks.